What up, guys? It's your boy. Just wanted to cover a quick topic real quick. Here in the Fox body. Got my fuel gauge fixed. Got that finally taken care of. I just wanted to talk about what I did to get it working again. So some people, the first things that a lot of people say to check is going to be the fuse panel. Check the fuse. Could have a hairline crack, that kind of thing. The next thing is the dash. I guess actually the gauge cluster. There's a module or something like that that goes bad, which also was not the case for me. And then your last step, maybe not your last step, but the other thing for me, or for anybody really, is going to be that fuel pump sending unit. So let me go ahead and get that off real quick. I can't show you guys the fuel pump sending unit, but I can show you that my gauge does work. As you can see, I got a half tank, but mine was reading all the way full, and it was like way above full, and no matter what, I could not get that thing to work for me. So I ended up dropping the tank because I thought my fuel was low, because I had a little cutout around the corner, and usually when I get a little bit of a cutout going around the corner, I'm like, okay, time to get some more gas. I know I'm low, and so this time, shit, I had a click over a half tank. Got a little fuel cut around the corner, and basically I said, you know what, let me go ahead and drop the tank after I looked at everything else. The dash had already been messed with in this vehicle. The guy that I bought it from said he put a new fuel pump in, which it was. I verified that. They didn't do the sending unit though. So basically, the dash was loose, like the cluster cover or whatever. So obviously they had messed around with that, and that wasn't the issue. So I went ahead and dropped the tank. When I dropped the tank, went ahead and yanked that sending unit out, and I should have taken some pictures or a video of it. But basically, so you have your float, right? And that is what's going to give you your fuel level. That's what's it's gonna read on. It's got a little dial, and so when it floats, once you get so low, the dial goes down. You go so high, the dial's up. So basically, what happened was that float came completely detached. Like it came off of the arm that that's attached to the dial. So the float was just dangling, and so it would never rise properly. So that's what my issue was. I just wanted to make a quick little video on that. So what I had to do was drop the tank, and I guess I can give you guys a little quick run through of how to do that. Basically, when you're going to drop the fuel tank, the first thing you're going to do, disconnect that negative terminal on the battery. Well, actually, no. Number one, you want to get the rear in the air, whether you're using jack and jack stands or using just ramps. So I backed it up on ramps, got the bitch in the air, went ahead, disconnected that negative terminal on the battery, and then you're going to have three, I believe it was 10 mil, or maybe it was 3/8 bolts that were on the top of the filler neck. So you're going to pull those. There's also 4 on the bottom that I believe were 3/8 or 10 mil as well. You're going to pull those, and that's like a little boot. It's a little boot. Then you go down, you got your filler neck, and then there's a small one. It's about this is an American vehicle, so it's not metric, but I used metric. I believe it was like a 7/16 or like 8 mil or something like that, maybe 9, I can't remember. and that's what holds that fuel. That's what holds the filler neck into the tank, and then you know, kind of stabilizes it. So you can disconnect all that, and once you do that, you're gonna go down to the front side of the tank, closer to the front of the vehicle, and you got 2 straps. So this is where you're gonna get your jack and a block of wood, and you're gonna go ahead and get that set up, and then get that in position. Then you're gonna go ahead and hit the straps, which were 13 mil. Got the straps out, got her down. Then you're gonna want to slowly drop the fuel tank down. Once you do that, you're going to go ahead and start disconnecting the fuel tank vent. It's going to be a rubber hose, small one. I believe it was, never mind the size, I can't remember. Small fuel tank vent. There's a fuel return line, a high pressure feed line. Then you got 2 plugs, or 2 sensor plugs, one for the fuel pump and one for the sending unit. They're about 1.5 feet apart. So, and that was it. So then I went ahead and dropped the tank. Then you got your standard lock ring. Go ahead and knock that thing loose. Now typically you want to use a brass chisel, or chisel, punch, whatever, chisel, punch, doesn't matter. Something that's not going to cause a spark, because you don't want that around fuel and in the vapors and stuff like that, because you do the math. Okay, you knock that thing loose, and I mean, once I dropped the tank, I knew immediately. I could see it was OEM, rusty, and all that stuff. So I was like, okay, this is original. So they did the fuel pump, they didn't do the sending unit. They messed with the gauges. I verified everything else, electrical and stuff like that, and those weren't the issue. So as soon as I dropped that tank and I seen the top of it, before I even knocked the ring loose, I was like, this has got to be it. Now typically you want to go ahead and replace that sending unit, but I just wanted to see if it would work. Either way, once I got it apart, I wanted to just see either way if by me reconnecting the float to the arm, if that would correct the problem. So, and it did. So now my fuel gauge works. Yeah, so yeah, if I have any other problems with it, I'll shoot another video and just go through the whole process. But I was kind of just trying to, I mean, I was struggling getting a tank back up in there because there was so much fuel in it. I mean, shit, I had, click over a half tank. I believe this is a 15-gallon tank in here, so yeah, it took me a while. I mean, I've done fuel pumps in a lot of vehicles, Dodge Ram. You know, my Ram, I did mine, dropped the tank in the driveway, put a new fuel pump in. Same deal. I was getting fuel cut, and then one day, just running real good. Went to the gas station, and came back out, and she wouldn't fire back up, so I had to call the tow truck, towed her to the house, all that stuff. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of give you guys a verbal run through on that. Hopefully it helps you. Yeah, if you got to take it to a shop, it's not going to be cheap. I mean, you know, the time and the labor that goes into it, and the fees just to, you know, you're going to have to pay somebody at least an hour to diagnose it. So anywhere from $50 to $150 an hour. And, you know, it's a $200, $300, $400 job depending on where you go. Maybe even more depending on the parts you use and stuff like that, depending on, you know, where you go. So I just want to throw that out there, and yeah, I'm glad to have that fuel gauge working and stuff, you know. Had the Fox body for roughly 6 months. Yeah, roughly 6 months. What I paid for it, I considered it a good price. I paid more for a Honda Civic. It was rusted out back in Minnesota, or no, North Dakota. I had a little Honda Civic, rusted out rockers, fucking cab corners, or not cab corners, I'm thinking of a pickup. Rocker panels and wheel arches in the back. I mean, completely gone. I mean, it's shit. The rear bumper was flying. It was half the bumper was flinging, was catching air, and it was coming like this as I was driving back to South Dakota on the highway. So I had to stop and drill some holes, zip tie it together again. But so far, yeah, and I paid like $1,700 for that, plus $200 in gas. You know. So, and I got this for $14. And the only thing I've done to it is I did put a new water pump on it. I did put a new thermostat. And, I've done oil change, I broke the back window, as you guys can probably see. I asked the dude if the top works, if it works on its own. He said it did. He just didn't. That's all. He left it at that. So I just took his word for it, and I was like, all right, cool. And then I was like, you know what? For a while, I was like, nah, I don't really care about having the top. Really, I just want the LX. I like this body style, and it seems like these LXs are hard to come by sometimes. You see a lot of people with the not notches, but hatchbacks and stuff like that. Those are kind of ugly to me. I don't like the hatchback look. It's just ugly. But to each his own. They're still a good car. It's a well-rounded car. But for what I paid for it, $1,400, got a 5-liter. It's, good tires. Oh, I put new brake pads in it too up front. So that's all I've done to this vehicle. And then reset the sending unit on the or the float on the sending unit. So that's all I've done to it. But it's been a good car. That's my 6-7 month update. I'm actually going to be selling it here on the 1st, or not the 1st, Jesus, on Thursday. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I'm going to sell it on Thursday, and so we'll see if I sell it on Thursday. Other than that, just enjoying a little celebration, kind of just looking at my notes, thinking about some other things I want to talk about. I've been slacking on the videos, so I appreciate you guys watching, checking it out, hanging in there. If there's anything else you guys want to see, you want to talk about, let's talk about it. You know what I mean? Drop them comments, drop them likes, and all that stuff. So, I ain't making no money off it. I'm just trying to, it'd be nice, but I'm just trying to get the views up, get the ranks up, trying to establish myself like everybody else. So, yeah, you guys, appreciate it.